Good evening. I hereby call this regular meeting of the Nacogdoches ISD Board of Trustees to order. Let the record show that a quorum is present and a notice of this meeting was posted in accordance with the Texas Open Meeting Act. All board members are in attendance today. Please remember that all items do not have to be taken in order shown, and I would appreciate you turning your cell phones to silent mode. We thank you for joining us tonight. The board will now conduct an executive closed session to discuss the items posted on our agenda pursuant to the following provisions of Texas Open Meeting Act as allowed by Texas Government Code Sections 55.071, 551.072, 551.074, and 551.129. No voting will take place in the closed meeting. Any action that board wishes to take as a result of discussions in closed session will take place after the board reconvene in open session. It is now time 5:01. board is reconvening into the open session, and the time is 6:26. At this time, I will ask Mrs. Leobeth Abt to give the invocation to her. I'm getting nervous.
Let's pray. Lord, we're very grateful that we have a separation of church and state. But at the same time, we're thankful that we can take a moment to acknowledge you and humbly ask for your help and giving us wisdom. And we also ask that by your Spirit we would have a joy of celebration tonight. We thank you for being with us, and we pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. At this time, we do the pledges to the flags. Principal of Nacogdoches High School, Mr. Stephen Autry, along with Nacogdoches High School Student Council, will lead in the pledges to the flags tonight. Mr. Autry? Okay.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now, the Texas flag.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you all. Go ahead.
May I say a quick word about our
Sure.
city council? Hi, my name is Anthony Stark. I am accompanied by my peers Uriel Morales and Juan Centeno, representing Nacogdoches High School Student Council, and I would like to tell you all about our accomplishments this year. Our Student Council achieved remarkable accomplishments this year, showcasing exceptional leadership, creativity, and unwavering dedication. Initiatives like the Peace Meal event fostered cultural exchange through including shared meals, while our environmental efforts, including highway cleanups, demonstrated our commitment to sustainability. We prioritize inclusivity, ensuring all students feel mutual respect. We've cultivated has resonated throughout the school, leaving a lasting impression and inspiring our future generation.
The Sioux City Council have recognized Nacogdoches Student Councils with the accomplishments of outstanding DASH, PMP, E&E, and Community Service Committees. We are one of 233 out of 1,166 councils in the state of Texas to receive this award.
Great job.
And we are very, very proud of your accomplishments and who you are. Thank you. At this time, we have some student recognition, and tonight we have athletic and academic students to be recognized, and Mr. Linebarger, you have that pleasure.
Good evening. Thank you, President Nerimond, board members, Superintendent Trujillo. We've got a lot of stuff to go through here tonight. This is all great stuff, and I'm grateful for these students and in a little bit some teachers for being here. Let me get started. We've got some power lifters here in the boardroom tonight. We've got L.J. Leedon and Andrew Rogers. Guys, come on up, and their powerlifting coach, Coach Strickland. Come on up, guys. These guys had quite a season this year. Back in March, they qualified for the state powerlifting meet. Now, normally we would have had them here last month, but there were also some responsibilities with the high school track team as well that took them away on the night we had the board meeting. So we're grateful they're able to be here at this meeting. Now, they competed after qualifying for the meet, at the regional meet. They went and competed at the state meet. Now, as part of finishing first place at the 5A and 6A Region 3 competition in the 275-pound weight class, Andrew, let them know which one you are. Andrew set a school record in the bench press at 445 pounds. We're not going to make him prove it here tonight, but I think he can take care of it. Now, overall, Andrew lifted a total of 1,705 pounds in 3 lifts. Think about that. That's incredible. Now, also with Andrew is LJ. LJ finished second at the regional meet in the 148-pound weight class. He lifted a total of 1,160 pounds. And these guys did great. Now, I was talking with Coach Strickland before the meeting, and he talked about there's high hopes for next year. These guys go back with a chance to win at the state meet. I think Coach Strickland has got even bigger plans than that, with the hopes that the team can go win a team title at the state meet. And I also learned that he calls Andrew, with all due respect and love and everything, the creature. Now, I've known Coach Strickland for some time. When he calls somebody creature, that's a good thing right there. So, guys, thank you all very much for being here tonight, and congratulations on a great powerlifting season.
Congratulations.
Coach Strickland, I want to get a picture of these guys while they're here.
I also like to know what grade they are in.
They're all juniors.
Juniors. So,
All right, next year.
are you qualified for a junior Olympic competition? Not yet? But congratulations anyway.
Friday you won. Friday, yeah.
Okay, you guys ready? One, you can smile if you want to. 1, 2, 3. Good job, guys. Thank you for that. Wow.
And now, we are proud to introduce our NISD Teachers of the Year.
No. He has more.
President Narimon, we also have some debate students to
that's correct.
recognize
I'm
as
sorry.
well. Up next are a couple of high school, Nacogdoches High School seniors, Whitney Howell and David Taravella, and their debate coach is here, Miss Veronica York, from the high school. Now, earlier this year, back in March, Whitley and David advanced to state in CX debate. And their efforts in debate, which took place back in March, they fall under the umbrella of Academic UIL. And we've got some more students who qualified for Academic UIL, and you're probably wondering where they're at. Well, they're on a bus coming back from Austin, even as we speak. So we've had quite a turnout here this year for Academic UIL competition. In addition to Whitley and David, the NHS current events team won first place overall at the regional competition earlier this month. The current events team includes Vivian Nieberding, who you're going to hear something about her in just a few moments from Dr. Trujillo, Justin Phillips, Mel Chandler-Izell, and Charlie Hodge. Now, the journalism team, something close to my heart, the journalism team finished third overall at regionals. Delana Adams won first place in headline writing, and she qualified for state. And Mark Cifuentes was fourth in news writing, and that qualified him as an alternate for state. So we want to celebrate those kids as well. But David and Whitley did an outstanding job in the CX debate, and it's extended a long tradition of students from Nacogdoches High School under Miss York's leadership that have done well in CX debate. And guys, thank you so much for being here tonight. I know you guys have got a lot going on the next week. These are both seniors. Tomorrow's senior award assembly, next week graduation. So they took some time out of their busy schedule to be here, and we're grateful for it. Thank you.
And as a result of their points, we also garnered our first ever UIL Academic Championship for the district.
Thank you, Ms. York.
President Fashid, Board, just real quick, are your parents here?
My dad is.
Where's your dad at?
He's right there.
God bless you, because if she's been doing amazing with debate, I could just imagine how she's debated. She's debated for things with you, Dad, at home. So it's amazing. You couldn't be any more proud, I imagine, for what she's doing. Mr. Travella, I'm going to tell you, I've seen you in action, sir. I've been blessed, and I want to make sure to share it with everybody. He wasn't in a debate competition. He wasn't in front of his teacher. He was actually advocating for the kids in the state of Texas. And you spoke to the media, and you spoke to some politicians in the room that were there, and you did this community proud. You did me proud, and you did your parents proud. And I know one day, I don't know what your future holds for you, but it is public speaking. And I was very proud to see you work. I will also say this young man is an Eagle Scout. And I got to see him get his Eagle Scout pin, so that's a lot of work. I'm not trying to single you out by yourself, but I'm a dad of an Eagle Scout, and I know how much work that is, sir, and I'm very proud of you both for doing the work that you've been doing, and I just wanted to share that out to you all, so.
Dr. Trujillo, I can even say I knew him when he just mowed my grass.
Thank you.
Thank you. You all have been credit to our school.
President Neriman, Ms. York just advised me that Delana Adams, who I mentioned just a moment ago, finished third in state in headline writing.
That is great.
Thanks for sharing that with me.
Mr. Linebarger, I want to say these students not only credit to themselves, to their family, a credit to Nacogdoches High School, eventually to our town as well.
Absolutely, President Neriman.
Okay? Now here, we are proud to introduce our NISD's Teachers of the Year, and you have the honor, Mr. Linebarger.
All right, thank you, President Neriman. Mr. Whitaker, would you join me up here as well? He's going to help me hand out some hardware. Allow me to introduce our campus and district Teachers of the Year. Now, this is one of my favorite things that we do. For one thing, my wife is in her 30th year of teaching. I know what all this looks like. I know the time and effort that goes into the work they do, not just in that time that they're in the schoolhouse. I know what Sunday afternoon looks like. And I'm grateful for everything they've done. But I can recall teachers who had great influence on my life many, many, many years ago. And I'm grateful for the impact that they had with me, just like we're grateful for the work of all of our teachers here in Nacogdoches ISD. Now, the teachers being honored tonight were selected by their campuses for Teacher of the Year honors. And from that group, a committee then selected 2 District Teachers of the Year. So now, let me make some introductions, and Mr. Whitaker is going to hand out some hardware to them. First up, Lisbeth Monter is the Teacher of the Year from Brooks Quinn Jones Elementary. Please come up here, Ms. Monter. Now, Ms. Monter and other Teachers of the Year out there, I need to let you know, there are boxes for these trophies, and they're in a cardboard box out here on the table just outside the boardroom. If you want to grab a box to put it in, whichever one, they're all the same, but feel free to do that when you leave tonight. From Emmeline Carpenter Elementary, Brandy Presley. Thank you, Ms. Presley, for being here tonight. From Mike Moses Elementary, Monica Poindexter. From Regay Elementary, Gary Dial. From Thomas J. Rusk Elementary, Maria Landeros. From McMichael Middle School, Lori Harkness. From Margie Chumbley Academy for Success, Ashley Higgins. And from DAEP, Tina Hill. And we have two more to introduce. Our Elementary Teacher of the Year from Nettie Marshall Early Childhood Center, Maria Hernandez. Now, Ms. Hernandez has been teaching 43 years. She got her start in her native Mexico, and after moving to Nacogdoches with her family in 2001, Ms. Hernandez applied for a position in our student nutrition department. But now here's a name you're going to recognize, but G.W. Neal, longtime administrator, former board member. He was serving as Director of Human Resources at the time. Mr. Neal found out about her teaching background and hired her as a bilingual teacher, and she's been with us ever since. So congratulations, Ms. Hernandez. Now, in case, yes, go ahead and hand her the district level as well. And just in case y'all do not know, which I suspect you already do, Ms. Hernandez's daughter is Dr. Evelyn Sauceda, our Director of Bilingual Education. Now, our Secondary Teacher of the Year is Jan Holland from Nacogdoches High School. Now, Ms. Holland leads the cosmetology program at Nacogdoches High School, and she has 35 years of experience in the beauty industry. But she also wanted to teach this. She went back and she got the necessary degree to teach cosmetology at Nacogdoches High School, and she's been there since, I believe, 2012. And I think she was ready to strangle me a couple of weeks ago. We went to the campus with Dr. Trujillo and some other administrators, and we surprised the district level teachers of the year, and Mr. Hawtrey was involved in this too. I'm taking everybody down with me. Well, at the time, she was letting her students work on her hair as part of her cosmetology class, and she gave me a look, but we got through it. But congratulations, Ms. Holland. You've done an excellent job with our cosmetology program. You know, we've had several of her students here that have made state and national competitions. So congratulations. Congratulations to all of you. And I mean it. I've seen what you all do up close through what my own wife does, and with her teaching now in her 30th year. And we're all grateful for this. You all, I think Mr. Nuriman mentioned a while ago about how those students were indicative of what Nacogdoches High School has to offer and what Nacogdoches ISD has to offer. The same goes with you. You are indicative of the teachers we have in this district. And I'm grateful for you and your work, and the district's grateful as well. Now, allow me to get a picture before you guys slip out the door.
Mr. Lineberger, I was just curious.
Yes.
If you guys have a number of years combined with all these teachers in their years of teaching, do you have a number by any chance?
No, sir, I don't, but Dr. Trujillo's always told me I can get back with you on that.
I'm just curious, because two of the teachers I worked with when I first came to NISD, and they're still here, and you know what? That makes my heart really warm, because you have to have your heart in teaching to be a teacher for this long. Thank you. Thank you all.
Dr. Trujillo, did students make the trophies?
What's that?
Did our students make the trophies?
I don't know, that's a good question.
They look like the other ones.
Did our kids make the trophies?
Okay, we were standing up. Oh, okay.
Mr. Linebar,
Yes,
I want to
sir.
make a comment. As a person who worked with a few of those teachers and been in a system for long, I can say they exactly feel as I do, somehow. The trophies, the certificate, and all those recognition has its own right place. However, the most satisfaction that they would receive is when they realize their former students are well accomplished and happy life. That is when they get very warm heart.
Thank you, President Girolamo.
Now, at this time, Dr. Trujillo has even better news to share with us this evening.
Well, I don't want to start off on a down note, but a lot of us were impacted pretty badly these last few days. So last week's flooding caused a number of problems for Nacogdoches, and we were not immune to it either here in Nacogdoches ISD. You already know flooding has caused issues in the District Support Center, and for now, we're temporarily officing out of the newly remodeled Fredonia Elementary School Center, where Mr. Z has made us feel right at home. Yes, sir. Thank you so much. And longtime residents here in NAC say this episode of flooding was the worst they've seen in recent memory. And we want to keep everyone across this beautiful community and NISD staff, the students, their families, as well as the businesses affected in our thoughts and in our prayers. I want to recognize first and foremost. The end of the school year is here. In the next few days are going to be the busiest in Nacogdoches ISD. Graduations for Nacogdoches High School is set for 8 p.m. on Friday, May 26th at the William Johnson Coliseum at Stephen F. Austin State University. Graduation for Margie Chumley Academy for Success is at 6 p.m. on Thursday, May 25th at the Nacogdoches High School Auditorium. Tomorrow, the seniors will be awarded at an assembly, and it will take place in NHS Auditorium. The award assembly is always such an uplifting event and puts on display all the great things NISD is doing. And of course, there are end-of-the-year events planned at all of our campuses as the 2022 and 23 school year comes to a close. So we're excited about that. Also, to the board members and to the community that want to attend, we want to remind you that the district retirement dinner is at 6 p.m. on Tuesday, May the 23rd. It was originally scheduled for last week, but we postponed it a few days due to the blessing of the wonderful rain that we received, that we'll be praying for in July, in August. The district's retirees will be recognized, and the NHS Culinary Arts students will be catering the event for us. So we're excited about that. We're celebrating the teachers that are going out, but we also want to recognize somebody coming in. So if I can have Mrs. Roxanne Latham please stand. She's in the audience. I want to recognize and congratulate you and have you join us. Join us in congratulating her. She is our newest principal, and she's the principal at Margie Chumley Academy for Success. So welcome to the team. Great to have you with us. Earlier this week on Tuesday, our Career and Tech Education Department held their CTE signing day at the Malcolm Rector Center. This is the third annual. This is amazing, and it's getting better and better each year. More than 40 NHS senior CTE students who have already secured a job within their field of study or have been accepted to a college, university, or technical school to continue their CTE pathway and studies signed their agreements to attend college or technical school following the graduation. I love what this represents. School celebrates, and rightfully so, when our athletes sign for scholarships and play for the respective sports in college, but it's also very special. And we get to do the same thing with the CT graduates. It turned into one of my favorite events this year, and I've heard a number of folks say that that is their most favorite event, to come and watch our kids do the signing day. And finally, we've got another celebration, and we've got National Merit Scholar at Nacogdoches High School. Vivian Nieberning learned last week she was named the National Merit Scholar. That's 2 in a row for Nacogdoches High School. 2 in a row. Now think about that for just a moment, okay? 2 in a row. Vivian is currently ranked number 1 at NHS class of 2023, and she plans to attend the University of Michigan this fall. We're all extremely proud of Vivian, but I'm also proud of NHS, the work that they're doing and the teachers that we have. And I will tell you, it's not just NHS. If Vivian was part of our elementary school and coming up, it's all the teachers that have touched their lives, and most importantly, dads. Okay, just like our dad that's up here in front. It's the long hours that we put with our kids, running to the store to get that last-minute project that they forgot to tell us right about the time Walmart's closing. So we want to recognize that as well. We're all extremely proud of Vivian of this, and we have students in this district doing outstanding work and accomplishing great things, and Vivian's National Merit Scholar Award is one more indication of what's taking place at Nacogdoches Independent School District. So if you're not with us, come and roll at Nacogdoches Independent School District. That's it.
Thank you. Now we'll have a hearing, public comments hearing. Those wishing to address the board during the public comments should have emailed a request by 4 p.m. today. This revised procedure was included and made a part of the meeting notice. We do not have anyone receiving for public comment. At this time, we go to consent agenda. Unless removed from the consent agenda, all items listed will be acted on with one motion. If there is a board member who wishes to discuss an item on the consent agenda separately, please indicate the agenda letter, and it will be set aside for further discussion and separate voting. Board, do we have any comments? Well, I need a motion.
I'd like to make a motion that the consent agenda be approved as read.
Okay, a motion is made by Ms. Leah Beth Abt. I need a second.
I'll second.
A second is made by Ms. Mindy Winslow. All in favor of passing the
Aye.
approve? And those opposed? Thank you. Now we will proceed with the items from discussion and action portion of agenda, and will be presented by Mr. Harold Whitaker, Chief Executive Officer of Human Resources.
Good evening, President Nurman, board members, Superintendent Trujillo. I'm back again. So I have hard copies of the proposed 23-24 compensation plan that I will pass out to you to review any additional changes from the previous board meeting. So Board, I wanted to draw your attention to page 4 of the compensation plan. There's just a few additional changes that we wanted to bring to attention from previous Monday's meeting. So on page 4, you will see the general staffing information there in that column where it has lists clerical, previously clerical and technical staff. We also just wanted to add in there our instructional aides, so that number does encompass that position, so we just wanted to include that in that count. And then as you see the staff breakdown, we just included the new percentages of what those come out to be in reflection of the new staffing information that is presented there. Also on page 14 of the compensation plan, bring your attention to the academic and professional stipends. You will see the addition, as previously mentioned on Monday, just adding that teacher referral incentive there in the plan. Additionally, on page 17, under the administrative and professional employee pay grades, that position there was added to pay grade 1. And then lastly, on the back page of that pay grade on page 18, you will see that title of that position added there as well. So that kind of encompasses all of the changes from previous Monday's meeting until today, and so we just wanted to let you all share the information with you all. At this time, I will entertain any questions that the board may have.
Board members, do you all have any comments? Mr. Whitaker, thank you for diligent and hard work, and I'm sure Ms. Lisa has helped you.
Yes.
And I want to thank you again, both of your offices. It's a very tedious job. You have to calculate, erase, again, do it again, and again, and again. And the whole purpose is to make sure, create an environment that teachers are happy, health and safety of their concern taken care of, and our student gets the best possible education.
Yes, sir.
Actually, students are the beneficiary of all of that. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, board.
Now, we need a motion to approve that. All in favor?
Do we need a motion? No.
Anyone make a motion to approve? I'm asking.
I'm willing to make the motion, but Mindy looks like she has a question.
I guess I didn't, okay, so this is the one that we're voting. I'm sorry, I was thinking we were just looking at it again.
No, it's a motion.
I thought we still had one more hearing. I'm good.
Yes,
I'll
ma'am.
move that we approve the compensation package. How about that?
You make the motion. Good. I'll second it.
Okay. All in favor? Opposed? Unanimous? Tonight, we have two reports. One, School Health Advisory Council update, yearly update. Mr. Tarvin, Executive Director of Safety and Student Management Operation.
Good evening, President Neermond, board members, Dr. Trujillo. I want to visit with you all a little bit about the Student Health Advisory Committee. You know, every year we report out to the school board what we have done. So I believe you all have this information in your board book as well. So before I really start with this, I want to say a public thank you to our SHAC committee members who are graciously giving their time during the day to come to these meetings and to give their input and thought. They are doing an amazing job, and they really are showing their colors in this. So I want to say thank you to them. If you take a look, what we did, we had 4 meetings this year for the SHAC. All of our meetings are open to the public. We want to be transparent. We want to allow anybody in there. I will tell you that at every meeting, we did have visitors who were not part of the shack, and they listened and even offered some suggestions as well, so it was really good. Our meetings were November 8th, December 6th, February 7th, and the last one was April 13th. We held these meetings at lunchtime from 12 to 1:30 at the HR training room at the DSC. So I'll go over the meeting overview with you all. On November 8th, the shack took a look at the bylaws. We made recommendations for any changes that needed to be made in those bylaws, and we talked about them and gave time to think about them. Kathy Trotty was nominated for parent and co-chair of the shack committee. And we also had a physical activity fitness planning subcommittee put together during that meeting as well. On December 6th, we got together and we voted on the bylaws, and they were approved as we had discussed November 8th. Ruby Ramon also, she's our lead social worker, presented an overview of our social emotional learning and how we are teaching that social emotional learning at NISD. Robin Thacker, also our nutrition director, presented on food services and our wellness policy. And Kathy Trotty provided a report from the Physical Activity Fitness Planning Subcommittee. What they did was they came up with a list of questions that they wanted answered for our district. You know, how often do we have PE? How often do we do recess? And what type of recesses and things of that nature? And so we got that information to them as well. On February 7th, we had a visitor, Stuart Burson. He's prevention coordinator with the Family Crisis Center of East Texas, and he presented to the shack. He has programs out there that we can access for free. The FCC, who he's with, the Family Crisis Center, educates students and the greater community to prevent domestic violence, sexual assault, and dating violence, and things of that nature. We have access to those programs if we want to use them. And so we will be bringing that to our social workers and our counselors as well. He also discussed human trafficking and the state mandates that we have there as well. So, on April 13th was our last meeting. Ms. Marlene Brown, she's a public health nurse with the Texas Department of State Health Services. She presented also on some available programs and resources and services that NAC ISD can use as well. The resources vary on topics such as vaping, drug abuse prevention, human trafficking, nutrition, those type of things. So those were our 4 shack meetings and what we did for the year. I will tell you that, once again, I'm going to brag on the shack committee members because they are truly amazing, and they listen and provide input and ask questions, and it's a great learning experience and process for NISD. That ends my report. Do y'all have any questions?
I feel like I have a new person question.
Yes, ma'am.
How do people end up being on the shack? How do they get there?
So what we do, we ask our faculty, our principals, so do you have any parents that might want to be on the shack? We also go out and solicit different members from different areas. We want medical personnel on that. We want nurses on that. We want academics on that. So we go out and we sit down and we say, all right, look, who do we know that we could be on this committee? And we go ask for that, okay? Once we ask them to be on the committee and get their names and everything, we do come to the shack, or excuse me, to the board for you all's approval, and we go from there. I will tell you that every year we seem to have somebody who has been visiting want to be on the shack, and we accept them. I'm not holding back on that. And so we want to make this as inclusive as possible and have the experts to help us make decisions.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Ms. Darwin, if somebody decided to join and is not related to the school, they can't participate, and not even a parent? In other words, it's not
They can't participate as a business member or a community member.
because the way I look at it is a lot of informative information is exchanged and discussed.
Yes.
And it's good to be exposed to more people
one of the things, we do not talk about student-specific
Right,
or
I realize.
faculty-specific. We talk about programs and things of that nature.
Yes.
So now what they can do, they can come in as a visitor.
Exactly.
And they can listen and be a part and talk. They are not an official member of SHAC.
Right.
Okay? Until we make them a member. And the only way to make them a member is for me to come to you all and ask for your approval with the SHAC committee.
I understand that clearly. Somebody wants to get more information or just sit there and learn. That's what I was calling.
Absolutely, yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
That's great. Thank you. Any more comments, folks?
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next report is Solution Tree Report. Dr. Daya Hill, our Chief Academic Officer.
Good evening, President Nurimon, board members, Superintendent Trujillo. I'm supposed to stall and allow Mr. Linebarger to go ahead and warm this up. I told Lisa I wasn't as funny as she is, and there's no funny jokes that I know about chief academic officers. So I do want to thank you all very, very much for allowing this report to be heard, but I'll also want to say my sincerest appreciation to you all for approving the expenditures related to this professional development, because I know it's not cheap. But I do appreciate it greatly. We did have to twist some arms in getting some people to be videoed, because nobody likes the camera in their face. But they did an excellent job. I hope you enjoy it, and I do appreciate Mr. Linebarger for putting that video together for us. So please enjoy.
Okay. One of the things that I learned by attending the RTI professional development was that it helped me to understand that our kids are individualized, that we have to meet the needs of each. It's not one size instruction fits every kid. And so RTI was made more, it was clear to me about what it is that I'm supposed to be doing for each of my students individually, as opposed to standing before them and teaching them as if they were on the same level. Yeah.
And one thing I learned from the training is that, we're all held accountable for the students' learning, their strengths, areas of growth. And I think, all staff and teachers should have the opportunity to go to the trainings. That way, as a campus, we all have the same understanding, the same mindset, and that way we can all just share the responsibility together.
Okay, the academy, helped shape my practices this year in that it's very important for us to have a guiding coalition so that we're all sharing practices with the rest of our teams. We're holding each other accountable. We're helping to teach our staff what we've learned in the academy. So in that way, we can bring the academy back to campus. The other thing is being in a room with other principals, other teachers, other assistant principals, and hearing about their practices and how they're making the academy live on their campus was very important for me, because I picked up things we can bring back to campus right away. So I feel that the RTI Academy is vital for us to continue to participate in these trainings so that we can see the results for every single child that the academy brings to light. So the other thing I would say is if we can continue to work with, the coaching, bringing people on campus and giving us feedback will be really important as well.
Well, I think the RTI Academy has really helped the merger of the two campuses. We've been able to create some new procedures and a new identity for how we want our student success to be here at McMichael. Going through the academy, we've had the opportunity to not only collaborate with the Solution Tree coaches, but we've been able to collaborate as a district. That has been very beneficial and impactful to our teachers and helping create that positive environment on our campus. So McMichael has benefited greatly from the RTI Academy, and we look forward to continuing the work and the practices that we've learned in those academies.
I've been privileged to be a part of the Solution Tree Academy for the past 2 years, and it had a transformative effect on my teaching. I can honestly say, of all of my years of teaching, this has been one of the most dramatic professional development that I've been through, and that's a lot. It's a lot to say. It really has impacted how I teach. It's impacted my Tier 1 instruction and how I plan and how I focus. It's had a very large impact on my collaborative team. We have changed how we work as a team, how we work through learning targets, how we address and improve Tier 1 instruction, and then how we work on those Tier 2 interventions. It's really helped us be better for our students, and the best part, it's for all our students. It really helped us realize we could make a strategy to help all of our students. Before joining the district, I will say that I was very stagnant. I felt like in my teaching career, I kind of felt like I was in a comfortable place, but not, and this has really changed me as a teacher. This has made me strive to be a better teacher. This has kind of pulled me out of my comfort zone and made me work and become better. And I am super excited for our new teachers in the district that are going to get this knowledge from the beginning. And I appreciate that the district is investing in the Solution Tree. I appreciate that they are willing to put forth the time and the effort in giving us this program and helping us strive to do better for our kids.
So this year, in working with the RTI Academy and our Solution Tree coaches, I think my biggest takeaway has been clarity, being very clear on what is expected as far as the planning process, the intervention process, just being very clear with teachers and everybody. So we did that through working through our gold standards. And so with those gold standards, it's not me as the principal or our assistant principal saying this is what you're going to do. It's working with our guiding coalition, our teacher teams, and they are the ones that are setting those standards and making sure that their teams understand those expectations.
Attending the RTI Coaching Academy, it was very interesting this year. I came from Nettie Marshall, where the first year we were together as a pre-K campus. And so we had a lot of work to do building our culture and instructional practices. The RTI Coaching Academy helped us give us a starting point of where to go. We were able to build our guiding coalition, our essential standards, and really build our teacher capacity and what to focus on and keep us moving forward towards student success. We were able to actually meet and exceed our goals this year, and we do think that is part of attending the RTI Coaching Academy.
Well, the RTI Academy has really grown me as a leader of the campus. This year has been my first year as a principal. It was definitely a struggle at the beginning to know where I needed to be and how I needed to put my efforts for the teachers and the benefit of the students. And using the RTI Academy and the information I've learned from there, we've been able to target instruction for the students to make sure that we know exactly what they need and we're providing that instruction. I've also been able to mentor my teachers on campus a lot more and been able to understand how those practices get put into place in the classroom to support them as teachers, but then ultimately supporting our students.
So after attending, it grew me as an educator, just so I could just see how much they've grown just by using the Teach Assess cycle. That's what we've been focusing on after school, just watching them grow from the learning, just breaking down the standard into learning targets, watching them grow. Oh, you missed one. Oh, okay, you still got 90, we're good, we're moving on. Not anymore. You missed this target. Next year, you may miss the same target. The next year, you may miss the same target again, and those are questions that you need to know. So we're breaking them down, we're reteaching. When you miss a question, we're reteaching until you get mastery, and then we're moving on. I'm like, this changed the way I teach, for the better.
After the training, my mindset has definitely changed. Being an interventionist, I am more prescriptive and diagnostic with our lower babies, and I meet them where they need to be met. And after this training, we're looking forward to building the RTI team so that it's not just a few of us. There's a committee and making decisions based on these kids and what's best for their needs.
And I learned about the culture of collective responsibility and how we kind of need to build up
all of our personnel with expertise. I personally learned the difference between interventions and extensions, all of those terms, because I was brand new to this year. And the inverted pyramid really changed my mindset and my understanding of the essential standards are connected to the PLCs, are connected to our RTI. And if we think of it this way, every child is served exactly where they need to be served.
And just to touch one more thing, when I was mentioning being diagnostic and prescriptive, us learning how to look at the TEKS and the learning targets.
Yes.
And really hone in on those learning targets and make sure they've mastered that before we move on to the next, so that, like I said, we're meeting them where they need to be.
We can diagnose, prescribe, target, and then check our progress.
So I did provide you all with a cheat sheet of a vocabulary list on page 90, just in case there were some terms that were a little unclear. So thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Dr. Hill, thank you, thank you.
You're welcome.
And you were this is fast. I didn't expect it till the middle of the summer. This was a lot of work. I really appreciate it.
You're most welcome.
And I just want to iterate any of those of you who don't know why I put this burden on her or requested that she maybe consider. So the public will know, like Dr. Hill said, this is an expensive program that we're now in our third year. So we wanted to be reassured that it's money well spent, but we wanted the public to also be assured that, yes, teachers seem to be benefiting from it. And that was the best way to do it, too, is to actually hear from them. Thank them for us.
Thank you. Now, board, we're asking for a motion.
I move that we adjourn.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, we adjourn.